Chapters 19 through 24 of the Book of Joshua, from the Holy Bible in Modern English. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Mark Penfold. The Holy Bible in Modern English, translated by Ferrar Fenton. The Book of Joshua, chapters 19 through 24. Chapter 19. The second lot, however, came out for Simeon, for the sons of Simeon with their families. But their share was in the middle of the sons of Judah, and that district ran from Beersheba, and Sheba, and Moladah, and Fort Shoal, and Baalah, and Atzem, and Eltolah, and Bethul, and Carmah, and Siklag, and Beth Marabath, and Fort Susa, and Beth Libanth, and Rashokam, 13 towns with their villages. Ain, Rimmon, and Ather, and Ashan, 4 towns with their villages, and all the districts that surrounded the cities, which were Adbulath, Bar, and Ramah to the south. This was the share of the tribe of the sons of Simeon for their families. The share of the tribe of the sons of Simeon was within the lines of the sons of Judah, for the district of the sons of Judah was too much for them, so the sons of Simeon shared with them. But the third lot fell to the sons of Zebulun for their families, and the boundary of their district began at Sarid. And these are the boundaries to the westward: Maralah, and Phagah on the hill, and Gipha on the river, which is opposite Zaknon. But it turns from Sarid eastwards, towards the rising sun, at the border of Kisloth Tabor, and goes to Dabereth and the ascent of Jagia, and from there it passes eastward towards the sunrise to Gith Kapher, Atha, and Katzin, and goes to Rimmon, to Mithar, to Nah, where the line rounds from the north of Canathon, and its terminus is at the valley of Jothphach-el, and Kata, and Nalal, and Shimron, and Yadulah, and Beth Liklam, 12 towns with their villages. This was the share of the sons of Zebulun with their families, these towns and their villages. The fourth lot came to the sons of Issachar for their families, and its boundaries were to Israel, and Kisloth, and Shonam, and Kapharim, and Shauan, and Anakroth, and Rabith, and Kishion, and Abetz, Ramath, and Ain Ginmai, and Ain Kada, and Beth Fatzatz, and Phagah the Great by Tabor, and Shakhaz Tamah, and Beth Shems, and the terminations of the boundaries were at the Jordan, 16 towns and their villages. This was the district of the tribe of the sons of Issachar, for their families, the towns and their villages. And the fifth lot came to the tribe of the sons of Ashur with their families. And the boundaries of the district were Kali, and Beten, and Akshaph, and Ahualek, and Ahmad, and Mishael, and Phagah in Carmel. Towards the west were Bashigor with her daughters. Then it turned eastward towards the sun by Beth Gadon, and Phagah in Zebulun, and by the vale of Japhtach-al, and Abron, and Rechob, and Cumron, and Cana to Zidon the Great. There the boundary turned to Ramah, and Adair, and Mibzar Tzor, where the line turns to Kosa, and its western terminus is by the line of Achziba, and Ammah, and Aphek, and Rechob, 12 towns with their villages. This is the district of the tribe of the sons of Ashur with their families, these towns and these villages. Then came the sixth lot for the sons of Naphtali, for the sons of Naphtali with their families, and the boundaries from Calaph, and Alon, to Sanarim, and Adim to Nekob, and Zabual to Lakum, and its terminus was the Jordan. Then the border turned westward to Aznoth Taber, and went from there to Kukah, with Phagah of Zebulun on the south, but Ashur had Phagah on the lake, and with Judah and the Jordan towards the sunrise. And the towns were Mibsar, Tsadim, Tzor, with Kamath, Rakath, and Kinneroth, and Admah, and Romah, and Katzor, and Kadesh, and Adaroi, and An Katzer, and Iraim, and Migdad-al, Karem, and Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh, 19 towns with their villages. The seventh lot came to the tribe of the sons of Dan, with their families, and the boundary of their district was Tzara, and Ashthual, and Shemesh, and Shabalm, and Ilon, and Zathlalai, and Elon, and Thimnathah, and Akron, and Athlakab, and Gibbethon, and Baalath, and Yod, and Beni Becher, and Gathrimmon, and Mizerkon, and Rakan, to the bound of the cape of Yapho. This was the district of the tribe of the sons of Dan for their families, these towns with their villages. Thus the division of the country was completed, with the boundaries, and the children of Israel were given their shares by Joshua the son of Nun whilst with them. They gave to him by command of the ever-living the city that is called Timnath-Serach on Mount Ephraim, and he built the town and resided in it. These are the districts which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun assigned, with the chiefs of the tribes of the children of Israel by lot, at Shiloh, before the ever-living, in the open hall of assembly, when they made the division of the country. Chapter 20. The ever-living afterwards spoke to Joshua, commanding, "Speak to the children of Israel to say, Fix for yourselves the cities of refuge which I commanded you by the medium of Moses, so that the manslayer who has struck a life by accident unintentionally may fly there, so that you may have a refuge for yourselves from the avenger of blood by flying to one of those cities. He can then stand in the open court of the city, and state in the hearing of the magistrates of that town his case, when they shall admit him to the town to themselves, and appoint him a place and residence with them. But if the avenger of blood pursues after him, then they must protect the manslayer from his hand, if he struck his neighbor unintentionally, and did not hate him before it. He shall, however, stay in that city until he can be placed before the court to be judged, or until the death of the high priest who may be in those days, when the manslayer may return and go to his own village and house, to the village from whence he fled." They consequently consecrated Kadesh in Galilee in the highlands of Naphtali, and Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba in the highlands of Judah. And beyond the Jordan east of Jericho, they gave Betzer in the desert of the plain, for the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth Gilead for the tribe of Gad, and Gilon in Bashan for the tribe of Manasseh. These cities were to be open to all the children of Israel and to the foreigner to fly to, whoever struck a life, so that they might not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, until they had been placed before a court of justice. Chapter 21. The chief fathers of the Levites also approached Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel, and addressed them in Shiloh in the land of Canaan, saying, "The ever-living commanded by the medium of Moses to give residential towns to us, and pasture for our cattle." So the children of Israel gave to the Levites from their districts, by command of the ever-living, these cities and their pasture lands. When the lot was drawn for the family of the Cathai, it came for the sons of Aaron the priest, of the Levites, from the tribe of Judah, and from the tribe of Simeon, and from the tribe of Benjamin, 16 towns by lot. But for the other sons of Caph, with their families, from the tribe of Ephraim, and from the tribe of Dan, and from the half-tribe of Manasseh, 10 cities by lot. But to the sons of Gershon with their families, from the tribe of Issachar, and from the tribe of Asher, and from the tribe of Naphtali, and from the half-tribe of Manasseh, 13 cities. To the sons of Merari with their families, from the tribe of Reuben, and from the tribe of Gad, and from the tribe of Zebulun, 12 cities. So the children of Israel gave these cities by lot to the Levites, with their pasture lands, as the ever-living commanded by means of Moses. But the tribe of the sons of Judah and the tribe of the sons of Simeon gave these towns, which are recited by name, and they were for the sons of Aaron of the family of the Cathai, of the sons of Levi, for the first lot came to them. Consequently they gave to them Kiriath Arba, he was the father of Anak, in the highlands of Judah. But the pastures around it, and the farms of the city, and the villages around it they gave to Caleb the son of Jephunneh as his own estate. But to the sons of Aaron the priest they gave the city of refuge for the manslayer, at Hebron, with its pasturage, and Libnah with its pasturage, and Ether with its pasturage, and Eshtemoa with its pasturage, and Colon with its pasturage, and Debir with its pasturage, and Ain with its pasturage, and Juttah with its pasturage, and Beth Shems with its pasturage, 10 cities from those 2 tribes. And from the tribe of Benjamin, Gibeon with its pasturage, and Geba with its pasturage, and Anathoth with its pasturage, and Almon with its pasturage, 4 towns. All the towns of the sons of Aaron the priest were 13 towns with their pasturage. And to the family of the sons of Kehath with the other Levites, beside the sons of Kaph, towns were allotted to them from the tribe of Ephraim, and they gave them the cities of refuge for the manslayer, Shechem, with its pasturage in Mount Ephraim, and Gezer with its pastures, and Kibsin with its pastures, and Bethhoron with its pastures, 4 towns. And from the tribe of Dan, Althaka with its pastures, and Gibthon with its pastures, and Ailon with its pastures, Beth-rimmon with its pastures, 4 towns. And from the half-tribe of Manasseh, Anak with its pastures, and Gathrimmon with its pastures, 2 towns. In all 10 towns with their pastures, to the family of the sons of Kehath with others. And to the sons of Gershon of the family of the Levites they gave from the half-tribe of Manasseh as a city of refuge for the manslayer, Golan in Bashan with its pasturage, and Bashthera with its pasturage, 2 towns. And from the tribe of Issachar, Kishion with its pastures, and Dabroth with its pastures, Jarmuth with its pastures, Ain Ganim with its pastures, 4 towns. And from the tribe of Ashur, Mishal with its pastures, Abdon with its pastures, Kilkath with its pastures, and Rechab with its pastures, 4 towns. And from the tribe of Naphtali, as the city of refuge for the manslayer, Kadesh in Galilee with its pastures, and Kamoth-dad with its pasturage, and Carthan with its pasturage, 3 towns. All the towns of the family of Gershon were 13 towns with their pasturage. And to the family of the sons of Merari with other Levites they gave from the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam with its pasturage, Kartha and its pasturage, Dimnah with its pasturage, Naalal and its pasturage, 4 towns. And from the tribe of Gad, a city of refuge for the manslayer, Ramoth in Gilad with its pastures, and Machnim with its pastures, Heshbon with its pastures, Jazer with its pastures, in all 4 towns. All the towns of the sons of the Merari with their families, and other families of the Levites which were allotted them, were 12 towns. All the towns of the Levites distributed amongst the possessions of the children of Israel were 48, with their pastures, and those towns were, town by town, pasture by pasture, proportionate to all the towns. Thus the Ever-living gave to Israel all the country which he had promised to their ancestors to give them, and they possessed and resided in it. And the Ever-living made all quiet around them, exactly as he promised to their fathers, and no man of all their enemies stood before them. The Ever-living gave all their enemies into their power. Not a word failed of all the good things that the Ever-living promised to the house of Israel. They all came. Chapter 22. Joshua afterwards summoned the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, and said to them, "You have done all that Moses the servant of the Ever-living ordered you, and you have listened to my voice in all that I commanded you. You have not forsaken your brothers during this long period until this day, and you have done the work your ever-living God ordered you. Therefore, since your ever-living God has given quiet to your brothers, as he promised them, you can now return and go to your homes in the country you possess, which Moses the servant of the Ever-living gave you beyond the Jordan. Take special care, however, to practice all the commands and the law which Moses the servant of the Ever-living ordered you, and love your ever-living God, and walk in all his ways, and guard his instructions, and seek him and serve him, with all your heart and with all your soul." Then Joshua blessed and dismissed them, and they departed. But to the half of the tribe of Manasseh Moses had given Bashan, and to the other half Joshua gave with their brothers on the westward side of the Jordan. Joshua also dismissed them to their houses, and blessed them, and addressed them, saying, "You return to your homes with great wealth, and with very much cattle, with silver, and with gold, and with brass, and with iron, and with very much clothing, your share of the prizes along with your brothers from your enemies." So the sons of Reuben turned and went with the sons of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh from the children of Israel at Shiloh in the land of Canaan, marching to the land of Gilad, to the country they possessed, which they possessed by command of the Ever-living through the medium of Moses. When the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh, however, came to the rapids of the Jordan in the land of Canaan, they built there an altar near the Jordan, a great memorial altar. But the children of Israel heard the report that the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh had built an altar on the confines of the land at Canaan at the rapids of the Jordan, near the ford of the children of Israel. When the children of Israel heard it, they convoked all the parliament of the sons of Israel to Shiloh about going up against them to war. But the children of Israel sent to the sons of Reuben and to the sons of Gad and to the half-tribe of Manasseh to the land of Gilead, Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, and 10 princes with him, a single prince for each ancestral house of all the tribes of Israel, and a headman of ancestral family of the regiments of Israel, who went to the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh in the land of Gilead, and said to them, "All the parliament of the ever-living says thus: What perversity is this which you have erected against the God of Israel, turning today from following the ever-living to build for yourselves an altar, revolting at once from the ever-living? Was the offense of Peor a small matter for us, which has not been cleansed from us to this day? And it brought a stroke from the ever-living to the assembly. Yet you would turn today from following the ever-living, and you would revolt today from the ever-living, and tomorrow he will be angry with all the assembly of Israel. If, however, the country you own is unclean, pass over to the country possessed by the ever-living, where the dwelling of the ever-living is placed, and you shall possess amongst us. But revolt not from the ever-living. We will not, however, refuse you to build for yourselves an altar, but let it be a special altar to our ever-living God. Was not Achan the descendant of Zerach very offensive in the devoted thing, and anger came upon all the assembly of Israel? And did not that same man die for his fault?" The sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh, however, replied to the heads of the regiments of Israel, "By the God of gods, by the ever-living God of gods, the ever-living himself knows, and Israel itself should know if it is for revolt or if it is for offense to the ever-living. Then let us not be spared today for building for ourselves an altar, if we have turned from following the ever-living. But it is not sought for the object of offering offerings and gifts, and to make offerings and sacrifices of thanks to the ever-living himself. Was it not for the following event we did it, saying, Tomorrow, if your children say to our sons, What is the ever-living God of Israel to you? When the ever-living gave boundaries to our children and your children, the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad at the Jordan, you have no part in the ever-living. And thus your children might prevent our children from ever seeing the ever-living. So we said to ourselves, Let us build this altar, not for offerings and not for sacrifice, but for it to lie between us and you, and to the generations after us, to serve as a witness for our rights in the service of the ever-living, to present to him our offerings, and sacrifices, and peace offerings, that your children may not say to our children tomorrow, You have no part in the ever-living. So that it may be replied when they say thus to us, or to our descendants hereafter, we can answer, Look at this building in the form of the altar of the ever-living which our fathers made, not for offering or for sacrifice, but as a bond between us and you. We reject the idea from us of revolting from the ever-living, or turning today from following the ever-living, or building an altar for offering and sacrifice, apart from the altar of the ever-living God who dwells before us. When Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, and all the princes of the parliament, and the heads of the regiments of Israel with them, heard the declarations of the sons of Reuben, and the sons of Gad, and the sons of Manasseh, Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest said to the sons of Reuben, and the sons of Gad, and the sons of Manasseh, We learn today that the ever-living is in the midst of us, since you have not offended the ever-living with an offense. Thus you have saved the children of Israel from the hand of the ever-living. Then Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest returned, accompanied by the princes, from the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad, from the land of Gilead to the land of Canaan to the children of Israel, and reported the business to them. And the affair was considered to be right in the opinion of the children of Israel, and they thanked God, and decided not to go up to war against them, or waste the country where the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad resided, because the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad declared, The altar is a witness for itself between us that the ever-living is God. Chapter 23. It was some time after the Ever-Living had given to Israel rest from all its enemies around, and Joshua had become by that time old, that Joshua convoked the representatives of Israel by its magistrates and chiefs, and judges, and registrars, and said to them, I am old, I am advanced in days, and you have seen all that your ever-living God has done to all these nations before you, for your ever-living God has apportioned them to you. You have seen how I have subdued to you these different nations for your tribes to divide, all the nations that I conquered from the Jordan to the great sea of the setting sun. Your ever-living God himself terrified them, and drove them before you, and expelled them from the country as your ever-living God promised you. Therefore set yourselves firmly to keep and to do all that is written in the books of the laws of Moses, and never turn from them to the right hand or the left, and never go with the remnant of these different nations amongst whom you reside, to remember the name of their gods, or to swear by them, or serve them, or worship them, but adhere to your ever-living God, as you have done until today. For the ever-living has driven before you great and strong nations, and none have stood before you to this day. Every man of you has chased 1,000, for your ever-living God himself fought for you as he promised. Therefore carefully guard your souls to love your ever-living God, for if you turn and degrade yourselves like these other nations, these men amongst you, and worship with them and intermix yourselves with them, know for a certainty that your ever-living God will not continue driving these nations out before you, but they will become a trap and a snare and a whip to torture you, and thorns in your eyes to destroy you from off this beautiful land which your ever-living God has given you. But now, for myself, I am soon going the way of all the earth, so assure yourselves with all your heart and all your soul that not a single word will fail of all the beautiful promises that your ever-living God has promised to you. All will come. Not a single word of them will fail. But it will happen that as all the good promises which your ever-living God promised will come to you, in the same way the ever-living will bring upon you the whole of his threats until he wastes you from off this beautiful land, which your ever-living God has given you, upon your abandoning the covenant of your ever-living God which he made with you, and you go and serve other gods and bow down to them. Then the anger of the ever-living will burn against you and destroy you quickly from off the beautiful land he has given you. Chapter 24. Joshua afterwards collected all the tribes of Israel at Shechem, and summoned the nobles of Israel, and the chiefs, and the judges, and the registrars, and stationed them before the ever-living. Then Joshua again addressed all the people. Thus says the ever-living, who is the God of Israel, your ancestors dwelt beyond the river from of old, until Terah the father of Abraham and father of Nahor, where they served other gods. But I took Abraham your ancestor from the other side of the river, and caused him to travel over all the country of Canaan, but I held back his race, yet gave him Isaac. I also gave Isaac Jacob and Esau, and gave to Esau Mount Seir to reign over, but caused Jacob and his sons to descend to the Mitzrayim. I afterwards sent Moses and Aaron, and struck the Egyptians by what I did to their very souls, and after that I brought you out. When I was bringing your fathers out from the Mitzrayim, and they arrived at the sea, with the Mitzrites pursuing after them with chariot and horse to the Sea of Weeds, then they cried to the ever-living, and he placed a darkness between them and the Mitzrites, and it advanced with them as far as the sea, and your sons saw what I did to the Mitzrayim. Afterwards you remained in the desert a long time, until I brought you to the country of the Amorites who were settled beyond the Jordan, whom you made war with, and whom I gave into your power, and you seized their country, and laid it waste before you. Then Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and made war with Israel, and sent and invited Balaam the son of Beor to curse you. But I was not willing to listen to Balaam, and he blessed you, and I delivered you from his hand. Then you crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho, and the prince of Jericho with the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites made war against you.
But I gave them into your power, and sent the hornet in advance, and drove out the kings of the Amorites before you, not with your sword, nor with your bow, and gave you a country you had not reclaimed, and towns you had not built, and you live in them. Vineyards and olive groves which you had not planted, and you ate of them. So now look to the ever-living and serve him with sincerity and truth. But the gods your ancestors served over the river and among the Mitzrayim, turn away from them, and serve the ever-living. But if it is hateful in your sight to serve the ever-living, choose for yourselves today whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors served when beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites amongst whom you live in these countries. I and my family, however, will serve the ever-living.
But the people answered, Let it be a curse to us to forsake the ever-living or to serve other gods. For our ever-living God he brought us up, we and our fathers, from the land of the Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage. And he did the great wonders before our eyes, and guarded us in all the way we traveled, and amongst all the nations through whose midst we passed. And the ever-living has driven out all the peoples, and the Amorites who occupied the country before. Therefore we will serve the ever-living, for he is our God. But Joshua replied to the people, You are not able to serve the ever-living, for he is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not endure your sins and your offenses. For you will forsake the ever-living, and you will serve seducing gods, and change and degrade, and destroy yourselves by following after what seems delightful to you. The people, however, answered Joshua, No, for we will serve the ever-living. Then Joshua replied to the people, You are witnesses to yourselves that you have chosen for yourselves the ever-living to serve him. And they said, We are witnesses. Then turn out those seducing gods which are in your breasts, and bend your heart to the ever-living God of Israel. And the people responded to Joshua, We will only serve our ever-living God and listen to his voice. So Joshua made a covenant on that day with the people, and enacted it as a constitution and decree at Shechem. Joshua also engraved the words upon the tables of the laws of God, and took a great stone and erected it there, along with those which are in the sanctuary of the ever-living. Then Joshua said to all the people, Look at this stone, which you have erected as a witness that you have heard all the words of the ever-living which I have spoken to you, and it shall be a witness to you against slipping away from your God. And then Joshua sent the people each to his own house. After these events had taken place, Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the ever-living, died, being 110 years of age, and they buried him within the bounds of his estate at Thimnath-Serach, which is in Mount Ephraim on the north of the hill of Gaash. Israel served the ever-living all the time of Joshua, and all the time of the elders who outlived Joshua, and who knew all the acts of the ever-living that he had done for Israel. The bones of Joseph, which the children of Israel had brought up from Mitzrayim, they buried in Shechem in the piece of land which Jacob bought of the sons of Hamor, the son of Shechem, for 100 kestars, and which became the property of the sons of Joseph. Then Eleazar the son of Aaron died, and they buried him in Gubath, the estate of Phinehas, which had been given to him in Mount Ephraim. The end of chapters 19 through 24. And the end of the book of Joshua. Recording by Mark Penfold.